right, folks, welcome back. This is 2014 season of fantasy football. I'm Trey Seitz.
And I'm Rob Matter, and this is the PreDraft video for Footballers Anonymous. Alright, the first thing we're going to talk about is the notable coaching changes that happened in the league this offseason. The first one we're going to mention is in Detroit, where Jim Caldwell took over the head coaching job. He was the former Baltimore offensive coordinator last year, and he also brought a new offensive coordinator with him from New Orleans, who was the former quarterback coach, Joe Lombardi. Don't know much about either one of them, but it is interesting that they're bringing an offensive-minded coaching staff to Detroit, and they've got Matthew Stafford, they've got Megatron, and Reggie Bush, who are some big fantasy football players.
And I think something also to mention, like you said, with Joe Lombardi coming from New Orleans, being with Drew Brees all those years, that'll definitely help out with Matt Stafford this year, including his new weapon in Golden Tate.
I agree.
Next, we're going to talk about Minnesota. They've replaced everybody as far as the head coaching staff goes. Mike Zimmerman came in. He was the Cincinnati defensive coordinator. Norv Turner came in from Cleveland as the offensive coordinator. And George Edwards from Miami, the linebackers coach in Miami. Now he'll be taking over defensive coordinator job. I think this will definitely change a lot. Everything has changed there, but I think it's all still going to fall onto the quarterback on how well they do. On paper, it looks good. Looks like everyone's going to have a good year. Their receiving core, running back core, and their defense might pick up a little bit, but we'll see where it goes.
I agree, and Norv Turner is definitely interesting there as the offensive coordinator to see how that affects Adrian Peterson and the other offensive weapons. Next one is Houston. This is one of the most interesting as far as I'm concerned, bringing in Bill O'Brien, the former Penn State head coach, who's also going to be taking on a lot of offensive coordinator responsibilities, calling offensive plays and so on. And they also brought in Romeo Crennel as their defensive coordinator. He's obviously has a good track record as a defensive coordinator. It's going to be interesting to see if the college head coach going to NFL is going to translate well, or if he's going to be another bust.
I think it's going to be interesting with the weapons he has to work with. Arian Foster's back this year. Hopefully he'll be healthy. But now Ben Tate is gone, and they brought in Andre Brown from New York, and Andre Johnson decided to stay. It's not Andre, is it?
Yes.
Yes, Andre Johnson decided to stay.
Yeah, after some deliberation. But like I said, I don't know. Bill O'Brien was one of those guys who came in to Penn State and had everything against him, with all the stuff going on there with the Sandusky and Paterno stuff. So I don't know if that made his job easier or if it made his job harder in Penn State, but, trying to rally the troops, it's going to be a little tougher, I think, for him in Houston.
We'll see what Fitzpatrick can do for him. All right, next we're going to talk about Tampa Bay. Lovie Smith moved in there as the head coach. Jeff Tadford came over also from
Cal,
a college coach coming in to head the offensive coordinator job, and Leslie Frazier coming in from Minnesota for defense. I think they're going to do good things. They brought in a good, strong core there. I don't know much about Tadford at all, but
I think the thing that's interesting here with that is that I just actually noticed now is that there's 3 former head coaches that are now heading up head coaching responsibilities, offensive coordinating, and the defensive coordinating. So that'll be interesting to see how that works out. And Tampa Bay had a pretty decent team before. I think it just lacks some organizational and discipline.
They got a lot of tall guys in there, and if Doug Martin can pick up the backfield, then I think they'll go far this year. All right, so now we're going to talk about significant player team changes.
All right, first one we're going to bring up, one close to my heart. Emmanuel Sanders went from Pittsburgh to Denver. If he would have gone to any other team, I don't know if this would have been such an interesting topic to discuss. But the fact that he's in Denver with Peyton Manning throwing the ball to him, I think he might be somebody worth picking up this year.
All right, next player is going to be Toby Gerhart, who was playing behind Adrian Peterson in Minnesota for so many years. He showed a lot of promise, and hopefully now in Jacksonville he'll be able to have a significant role increase and be their starting running back.
Next one, Darren Sproles going to Philadelphia, coming out of New Orleans. It's going to be interesting to see how that affects both LaShawn McCoy and Darren Sproles. Is he going to get more touches? How he's going to work in with Chip Kelly's offense? It's going to be interesting to see.
I think his numbers will increase from last year.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now we're going to talk about Golden Tate, who moved from Seattle to Detroit. He will definitely help out Megatron, give more weapon options to Matt Stafford, and see what the new coaching staff can do with him out there.
I agree. He was a good player in Seattle, and now he's got a quarterback who's pass first, run second. Might make a big difference. Next one is an interesting one. Chris Johnson. He's kind of on the latter part of his career here. And some people are saying, it's going to be a new rebirth for him for the playing with the Jets. He had a good year at the end of the year last year. Helped me out. Helped me win the championship trophy.
Yeah, we'll see what he does there. I think his CJ2K is more of a CJK.
All right.
All right, so the last one we're going to talk about is Deshaun Jackson, moving from Philadelphia to Washington. We'll see if his attitude helps him or hurts him in Washington, and if he has as good of a year as he did last year.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I mean, like you said, I think his attitude is going to be part of the problem, but now that he's got Pierre Garçon on the other side of the field, that might help him out a little bit too.
Yeah, we'll see whose ego is bigger, RG3 or Deshaun Jackson.
Okay, next we're going to review this year's draft order for our league. It's going to go a snake draft just like we did last year. First round will be in reverse order of the standings, the final standings from last year. So, first overall, we've got Fish and Chips. Second,
Myself.
Master Disaster. Then Victor's Wildcats. Fourth pick is Lucci's Winners. Fifth goes to Flea Flickers. Sixth to Supermom. Seventh, Three Sharks. And I will have the eighth pick again, Steelers Wheel.
All right, and there's been some trades last year. One took place this year. One took place over the summer. So the trade that took place last year during the season was Adrian Peterson for a fourth-round draft pick. I picked up the 26th pick.
29th.
I picked up the 29th pick from Lucci's Winners, and also have the 31st pick, which is my pick naturally in the fourth round. Then during the off season, I made a trade with Three Sharks in the Water that gave me the 15th pick, I got the 10th pick in the second round and the 23rd pick in the third round, giving Ethan, or Three Sharks in the Water, the 15th pick, the 18th pick, and the 31st pick that would have been mine in the fourth round. That pushing John, Lucci's Winner, back into a 17th round pick so that he can get his 16-man roster. All right, next we're going to talk about the rule changes. Last year we did have a rule change. That rule is going to stand, but we do have some details to further discuss at the draft about that rule. But if you have any other rule changes that you'd like to bring up, you can post them on Facebook, and we'll discuss them And the draft, as far as voting, we can carry out the conversations on Facebook about the topics that you want to talk about, but the votes will take place at the draft. And we want to do that on Facebook because it might bring out other options that we might want to consider to change as well. All right, now the last segment is going to be the loser's advice. I have a very strategic plan in my book that I'm willing to share with you all so that it'll help you receive the trophy next year. My plan this year is kicker and defense in the 3rd round. Nobody's going to see it coming. You're going to get the best ones available. Do it, and this could be yours.
Okay, thanks for watching, guys. We look forward to seeing you at the draft on August 24th. It will be at the Lucci Pad. John will post his address and also time very shortly on Facebook.
All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this video. I'm Trey Seitz.
And I'm Rob Mattern.
Good luck at the draft.
Camera hug.
Camera hug. That's gay.
Your mom's gay.
This is Fantasy Footballers and not... No, what is that? I feel like I look stupid as hell. I need the armrest so I can sit normal. Footballers Anonymous video.
First footballers. That's... Why did you name this
It
Footballers
was John's
Anonymous?
ID. How did I start it off?
What's your name?
No.
No.
We'll see. And Michael Bush is gone, so maybe Matt Forte will get more end zone picks.
Well, it's Chicago. This is Tampa Bay.
Yeah, you can edit that out. That was really bad.
That's no problem.
Player roles. That was stupid. That's not right. Alright, next we're going to talk about Toby Gerhart, who was behind Adrian Peterson. Showed a lot of promise. I think his main problem is he's white. Now he's in Jacksonville. Come on, you can't.
I didn't know you were coming with that.
Sometimes you just gotta roll with it, man.
All right. And last one.
Isn't that me?
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
Bless you. It's not right. You are feeding your baby.
Me, not with my boobs.
I'm Trey Seitz. I'm a loser, and I won't even do my own advice segment. Oh, and by the way, Rob has to be home by 6. Can you please allow that? All right, y'all. Thank you for... That was stupid. We'll just edit, keep the first part.
Sign it out. Check it.
Now, once the season starts, we're going to bro hug it out on the video, like, through the cameras.